Shut up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we are going to go raw this week. Was in Houston, by God, Texas. Now, before we get into the show, folks, gotta emphasize, and I really want to point out, and I mean this in the greatest way possible, go check out the Main Event Network account, please. Go check out the YouTube page. The link on that is in the description tab. Go check out the Main Event Twitter account, mainevent_net. Check out the Main Event Discord, Twitch page. Folks, we are out there on all the socials. We are taking over. We are spreading like wildfire in the greatest of ways possible. We are coming at you in any and every way possible. You love pro wrestling, but hate the tribalism that comes with it. The Main Event Network is for you without question. We don't tribalize. We don't discriminate. You like AAA, CMLL? Great. You like New Japan? Great. You like the Indies? Great. You like AEW? Great. You like TNA? Great. You like WWE? Great. We love it all. Main Event Network, please. Cannot emphasize that enough. And folks, we are gearing up and getting ready for the 24-hour stream again, Memorial Day weekend. Please, cannot emphasize this enough. Go to the Main Event account for further details. Folks, we are going to be hot. That's the best way I could put it. So, now that we've gone over that, I want to remind everyone on how we pay these funny little gimmicks called bills here. We are WWE Shop affiliates. So what that means is, if you are watching this video, scan the QR code right there on the screen or click the link in the description tab. If you're listening to the audio or want to do that as well on the video, it will take you to WWE Shop. You go there, make a purchase for whatever item your heart desires. It could be a new Stephanie Vaquer t-shirt. You could help Danhausen be very nice, very evil, and be the very #1 top-selling t-shirt in WWE right now by purchasing a Danhausen shirt. Otherwise, you are cursed. Going there, and we here at the Vicious Studios receive a small nominal commission based on the purchase that you make. And folks, those kickbacks really do help us out, in case you have not noticed, with the improvement of the audio and video quality of this show. So please, cannot emphasize, check out the WWE affiliate link. Speaking of affiliates, folks, we are also affiliated with the Skull Shaver. As you can obviously see, I am bald and beautiful thanks to the Skull Shaver. It is, without a doubt, the #1 tool in my grooming kit. Folks, nice, sleek, ergonomic design, slides right into my hands, looking like I'm doing the Vader symbol. Built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery. This sucker's waterproof, so you can run it in the shower. Pop that son of a gun on, 60 to 90 seconds. That's all it takes, 60 to 90 seconds. Going across your head like this, you get your head looking as smooth and as beautiful as mine. See that nice shiny glow? That's all thanks to the Skull Shaver right there. You click our affiliate link, get yourself a Skull Shaver, get yourself whatever accessories you feel like you may need, also to help with your grooming needs. And folks, here's also a benefit. Blades are a breeze with cleaning up. They clean up with zero hassle whatsoever. Replacement blades, you really only need them about roughly every 6 months or so. So, what's that tell you? You do it now, you buy one now in April, you won't need a replacement blade roughly until about October. So what's that tell you? Save some money right there instead of going to the drugstore buying a 50 bag of them cheapo plastic razors that's going to slice your head up and you're going to look like you just came out of a horror movie. Ugh. Not only that, the Pitbull Skull Shaver is also, the Pitbull Skull Shaver is the one I use, and folks, that thing does come in handy in so many other ways other than for the head. Because it also helps tackle other unsightly hair upon the body. If you got nasty, uncomfortable looking arm hair, run the Skull Shaver across it, boom, it's gone like that. You got like a nasty tarantula looking kind of chest hair forming right here, run it across there, boom, it's gone like that. And folks, we are getting into the warm weather, and swimwear season is right around the corner. So if you need it for down there, it works for that too. Trust me. Check out our affiliate link for the Skull Shaver, as well as the OG way to help support the show, other than telephone, telegram, tell your friend to go and watch Vicious Rants. Get some Vicious Rants apparel through whatamaneuver.net, folks. These are without a doubt some of the most comfortable pieces of clothing I have ever worn in my life. I absolutely love it. We got t-shirts, we got tanks, we got women's tees, we got toddler tees, we got baby onesies. Folks, we got it all lined up for you. It is the perfect shirt to get for the spring and summer season. Hell, it's a perfect shirt to get for the winter season as well. It's the perfect shirt to get for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or if you just want to go and get a shirt to go and give to a charity organization, so that way you can hold on to that one particular piece of clothing that means the world to you. Go for it. Whatamaneuver.net. Search for Vicious Rants. We are on there as well. And now that we're done going over on how we pay for this show, folks, now we're going to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And the big highlights from last week's SmackDown, it started out with Randy, by God, Orton coming out into the ring, talking about on how, addressing the crowd. The next time you people here see me, I will have number 15 wrapped around my waist. Because Cody, you told me to unleash them voices. You told me to listen to them voices. You told me to do what's needed to get the job done. Well, you woke up a killer, and I hate to break it to you, but you can't put this genie back into the bottle. And Randy, very much so. Listen, speaking from an old fighter's perspective, you look into somebody's eyes and you could just see if somebody's got that killer instinct where, okay, yeah, that SOB may be big and bad, and I wouldn't want to mess with him, but I could get him. That SOB though, nah. He'd rip my throat out before I could even try. Randy is that SOB that would rip my throat out before I could even try. Okay? Also, keep in mind, Randy Orton was a Marine, so he was trained to kill. Keep that in mind. So Cody then comes out, them two lock eyes, and then they start swinging at each other. Something fierce, fisticuffs are flying, something wicked. Then next thing you know, Pat McAfee shows up out of nowhere. Boom! Swift kick right to the Goonies on Cody. They take him down, and it's a 2-on-1 beatdown. McAfee gets on the mic. I thought this business went on without me. I thought this business outgrew me. But then I put on Netflix the other day, and I see two 5'8" vanillas putting on a 45-minute Iron Man match when this company's got Randy Orton right here. I go and I see WrestleMania tickets are still on sale when you have Randy Orton right here. And then just blasting, talking about shitting all over everything that the company's doing. And then Pat hitting the nail on the head saying, Cody, the business you're running is going to die. The business we are going to run is going to make this thrive. And then they proceed to go walk off. Later on in the night, Cody comes back out. Huge scaling Stephen Mad promo. Talking about basically saying, Pat McAfee, you want to be Logan Paul without muscles. You want to come on here, you want to go and talk about on how this Stein. Pat, you being the guy Randy was talking to on the phone is the equivalent of if Disco Inferno was the third man in the NWO. Which, man, Cody has not let up about his unbridled distaste for disco, which, honestly, yeah, I can't even really make an argument on because, I mean, it's Disco Inferno. Come on now. That's like shooting fish in a barrel. But, either way, Cody also wound up saying, you guys say I don't have that killer instinct in me. I don't have the kill. You woke up the killer in me. So come WrestleMania, I'm walking out with that title. I'm walking out with that championship. And spinning back to what I was saying before about looking at some guys and seeing if they got a killer instinct. Yeah, you see it, Cody. He's got a killer instinct. He does. That boy knows. That boy would go. But here's the thing. You could see in his eyes, he'd have to wake that up. And so, do yourself a favor. Don't do that with him. So, either way, other highlights from SmackDown were Rhea Ripley had a one-on-one match with Michin. Rhea wound up getting the win. Then all three, Jade and the baddies, wound up doing a beatdown on Rhea. She got saved by Io Sky. So that led to a tag match on Monday Night Raw, which we are going to cover in a little bit, so just sit tight. And then Uncle Howdy had a match against Tama Tonga. This is a good match. Solo wound up coming out partway in the match, had the lantern in his hand, looked like he was getting ready to go and clock Howdy with it. And then the ref stopped him. Tama wound up getting on his ass about it. What are you doing out here? What are you doing? I don't need you out here. Why are you here? All this, that, and the other, distracting him. Next thing you know, Uncle Howdy, boom, locks in Sister Abigail for the 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa get into a screaming fight about why were you out here? See, this lamp has been nothing but problems. It's been causing nothing but trouble for us. So Tama gets the lamp off of Solo, sits it down to give it back to Uncle Howdy, so the Wyatt Six now have their lamp again. If I had to guess, it looks like Tama Tonga might be leaving the MFT soon, or at the very least going to wind up having to go through a whole bunch of hell and get like a reinitiation ass whooping to kind of get back into proper aligning with the family. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria had a tag match against Charlotte and Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. Good match. Charlotte and Bliss wound up getting the win. Afterwards, Lash and Nia Jax proceeded to go and do a beatdown on both teams to help build up hype for the match coming up at WrestleMania. On a side note, it has been officially confirmed Nikki Bella is on a TBD, is marked TBD at the moment because she's rehabbing I believe it was either a knee or ankle injury. Ankle injury that she had on Monday Night Raw. So wait on that for all 6 Bella fans that watch this show. Yeah. Anyways, we also had a tag team title match. Priest and Truth defended their tag titles against The Miz and Kit Wilson. This came to be due to some backstage back and forth banter and skirmish. And then at one point, Danhausen, yes, very nice, very evil Danhausen came out. Yes, he came out, went to go, was on the apron, put his hand out for Miz to tag. Miz just like, no, you don't belong here. Go, get out of here. And then Miz starts going and arguing with the ref like, ref, what do you do? Why is he here? Get him out of here. And all the while he's doing that, Danhausen is still on the apron holding his hand out. Truth goes over, tags Danhausen in. Danhausen comes in, yes, like that. And then Miz starts to get on him. yelling, screaming at him. Then Danhausen, well, you are cursed. And just as he curses The Miz, just as he's about to recurse The Miz, he throws the ref in front of him. And then The Miz, and then Danhausen, oh, no, I wasn't trying to curse you. I was trying to curse The Miz. And then, boom, goes to get Danhausen out. Danhausen escapes. As Miz is trying to get the winning pinfall, he knocks Truth out with a skull crush and goes for the winning pinfall. Ref is counting 1, 2, arm gives out, and then he's stuck like that. Can't count with his right hand. Priest comes in, hits the South of Heaven on the Miz. Ref then counts with his left hand. 1, 2, 3. They did show backstage footage later on in the show. Danhausen coming up to the ref. Listen, I don't normally do this for free, but in your case, it was an accident. I didn't mean to curse you, so consider yourself uncursed. And then the ref, arm feels better now. How? Huh. So, yeah. Then we had the last match on SmackDown was Sami Zayn defending his U.S. title against Carmelo Hayes. Now, Trick Williams and Little Yachty were out there ringside watching. And good match. Sami got the win. After the match, Little Yachty came in, hyping up Trick Williams. So my man, Trick Williams, congrats on your win, Miz. My man, Trick Williams, is going to go one-on-one, challenging for the U.S. title against the Gingerbread Man. So then they proceed to go and do a beatdown on Sami, and then the show ends with Trick standing tall. So that was it for SmackDown. With that said, let's get into the show. Raw in Houston. It starts out with Clarence Mason, the Pepsi King of Chicago himself, CM Punk, coming out to the ring, addressing on how last week he beat up Roman Reigns, and on how Roman's not here again, and addresses the crowd. Listen, guys, I get he's not. Why are you guys getting mad at me about the fact I'm telling you he's not here? He's not. But what I find funny more than anything, I could go out there and do a dozen different shows and films, and yet I still find a way to make it here every Monday night. But he does 1, maybe 2 a year, and he can't come out here. And when he does grace us with his presence, he shows up late, walks around with his chest puffed out, and then leaves early, like it's no big deal. And Roman, I hate to break it to you, but I am not like you. I am better than you, because unlike you, I'm not some Nepo baby who grew up having this business fed to me because I sucked at playing football. I don't have a cousin on the board of directors. I didn't have a dad who was able to put in a good name for me. None of that. I fought and crawled to get to where I'm at today, and I am damn proud of it. And Roman, come WrestleMania, I am going to beat your ass. Something stupid. And that's the basic summary of the CM Punk promo. So, yeah, with that said, now let's get into our first match of the night. Austin Theory going up against the megastar, whose name everybody's saying that it is L.A. Knight. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. Because you see, it wasn't just Austin Theory coming out alone. Nah! Because he came out with that walking doofus of a YouTuber, Logan Paul, thinking that he's all that in a bag of chips when we know he ain't. Along with that little goof of his that wants to go and try and make himself sound like he's slicker than Spider Snot when he ain't. Isospeed, which case they showed Knight got into Speed's house, looked at him like, hey, listen, you popped me with a set of brass knucks last week. I get that. It was an accident and all, nothing personal, but you got a receipt coming, kid, so here it is. And then threw him into the screen that he was live streaming on. So, now we get to this match. It is with Knight. He's leading at the beginning and the feeling out process, as well as going into the commercial break. Post-break, Knight's leading the pace. So it kind of looks almost one-sided-ish. Right up until Logan Paul goes and pushes Isospeed into Knight. And then next thing you know, Knight's attention goes directs to him. And he's like, and that dude's just like, whoa, 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 no, 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 I didn't do that, man. I got thrown into it. Whoa. And he's trying to get away from him. Just as he's trying to get away, here, Usos, yeet. So Usos music plays, and he's cornered. Usos on one side, LA Knight on the other. So he goes, runs, hops over Knight, tries to get away. Knight goes and gets him. And just as he's about to go and beat the tar out of him, Logan Paul goes, does something to distract him. He goes, takes his attention onto Paul, which gives Austin Theory enough time to, boom, scoop him and roll him up for a 1-2-3. Afterwards, LA Knight, yeah, winds up getting on the mic and yells for Adam Pearce to come out and pitches the idea of a trios match, Usos and LA Knight going up against The Vision, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Isospeed at WrestleMania. Now, I'm going to say this about that real quick. I'm not really one for the whole celebrities in a match type deal. I'm not. You know, it feels kind of to me. I mean, yeah, there were guys like Stephen Amell. There's guys like the Stephen Amells and the Logan Pauls that make it actually look like, wow, these guys actually put in the effort. As well as Bad Bunny. You know, I get that. I do. But it's just a personal preference, you know? Like some people like lucha. You know, some people like seeing the high-flying lucha stuff. Some people like seeing two giant 6'8", 300-pound, muscle-bound guys slugging at each other. It's personal preference. My personal preference, I don't like the idea of celebs in a match unless they're in there to go and get put on the ass end of an ass whooping for something stupid and take the loss. But that's just me. You know? We were also supposed to have Finn versus JD McDonough, but that never happened because as Finn was coming down to the ring, Dominic came out, beat the living tar out of him. Him and JD stood tall. They showed a little vignette for Finn later on that night saying, Dom, you woke up something in me, and come WrestleMania, I'm bringing back something I thought was long dead and buried. Hinting that, yeah, the demon is back. We're getting Demon Balor for WrestleMania. And if we didn't get Demon Balor at WrestleMania, I would have been seriously disappointed because that is the perfect place to have that character in. So, next matchup we have Bayley Bayley going up against Lash Legend. And one-on-one, Lash, she was leading into the commercial break with Bayley picking up the pace. And Bayley, she was building a comeback post-break, I should say. Now, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss wound up coming out, running ringside, beat the crap out of Nia to get their comeuppance, courtesy of last week. And Bayley wound up getting the win when Lash, she went to go hook Bayley for a superplex off the top. Lyra wound up holding her foot, which then, boom, made her fall awkward. Bayley then scooped her up, and Lyra was actually holding down Lash's foot so that way she couldn't kick out. And then, yeah. So, next up we had Trios Tag Match, Penta Zero Mero, along with Javon Evans and Dragon Lee going up against Los Americanos, El Grande and Rayo and Bravo. Ole. And I gotta tell you, high energy right from the start on this match. If you were looking for a match that... think of the best way to describe this match. If you were looking for a match that was like a quick shot in the arm, like a quick adrenaline shot, man, this is it. It was just like, get the needle, zoom, boom, that was it. A lot of high energy, a lot of... I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they spent more time in the air than they did on the ground. That's just me, though. But good high-paced action. I dug it, and really it was all good all around. The baby faces, they were leading into the commercial break, and post-break, it was quick action, back and forth. Javon wound up getting the win, hitting the OG cutter on the Bravo for the 1-2-3. It's going to be interesting seeing this ladder match. Unfortunately, though, and I am speaking on behalf of not just myself, but as well as for the great brown hope of the Main Event Wrestling Network, Rey Mysterio came out and, yeah, officially declared himself to be the 6th man in the upcoming ladder match at WrestleMania. So, yeah. Listen, this is what I'm going to say about that. Rey coming in, taking that 6th spot, it doesn't sit right with me in this sense, because all I can think is just, man, that spot would have been perfect for El Grande. It could have been perfect for El Grande. Hell, it could have been perfect for literally any other guy that was built, that they're looking to build up. Just, ugh. I don't like it. I don't like it. Either way, next up, now we come to our last match of the night. Notice I say last match, not main event. But it was Rhea Ripley and Io Rhea Ripley and Io joining back up again to take on Michin and B-Fab. Nice flow in the match. The baby faces, they were leading into the commercial break. Io was the punching bag post-break. However, this was very short-lived because they come back from commercial break, and then within a matter of like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops after that, boom! Io wound up pulling up the surprise roll-up on the B-Fab for the 1-2-3. After the match, beatdown ensues. The baddies wind up taking down Rhea. They got her hooked into the corner, while Jade, she goes and beats the living tar out of Io, beats her with a Singapore cane, something stupid, hawks her with a Jaded, and then just goes and looks at the girls like, leave her. And then they go. And then you just see Rhea go over, scoop up Io, or see Rhea go over to scoop up Io like, almost kind of like Rocky scooping up Apollo Creed after Ivo beat him dead. You know? But now we come to main event segment of the night. It was the official contract signing for Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. Brock came out with Mein Savior, Paul Heyman. And then Oba came out, boom, boom, hoo! Boom, boom, hoo! Boom, boom, hoo! Boom, boom. Oba came out doing the Obafemi strut. Just like he does. Then Brock Lesnar just standing there. Alright, yeah, I've had enough of this shit. Gets out, goes to jump off the apron to get at Oba. Oba catches him in a bear hug position, slams him into the ring post, and then they start going at it like that, like they're beating the tar out of each other. And the show ends while they're being pulled apart and they're still swinging at each other. You want to talk about a good hot ending? This was a good hot ending. I miss hot endings like this from back in the 90s watching wrestling. So either way, with that said, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please, if you're watching this on YouTube, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter, X, whatever kind of social you can on there, Tim Vicious. Also, folks, if you're listening to this on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from, leave us a good review if you feel we've earned it. We are trying to build up the audio platform. Thank you to contributor to the show, Lingerie Fighting Championship, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats on Twitter, DSB_IV, Main Event _net, the Main Event account. Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, D-Dryer1986. Like I said, I am Tim Vicious on the socials. And if you love me, great. And well, if you hate me,
shut up and sit down.
Fuck this.